I am offering you a blue pill and a red pill. If you take the blue pill, you will be a well-respected AIM top 100 or maybe even a top 50 player, just like many other players in the community. However, if you take the red pill, you will discover a certain feature that is on the routing keyboards that will let you be able to stream unbelievable amounts of BPM on maps and absolutely skyrocket through the rankings and maybe even overtake the #1 player in Osu, Emrak. The catch is you may be caught using this feature and get banned in Osu. The subject in today's video chose the red pill, and in this video you will see the side effects of choosing this path in your Osu career. These are the last 72 hours of Cloutiful's Osu career and the biggest cheating scandal that this game has ever seen. Before we start talking about the biggest cheating scandal in Osu history, we have to do a slight introduction to Cloutiful. Cloutiful at the time was a top 3 player that was absolutely dominating the scene. Back in 2023, he was seen as an up-and-coming top player that was absolutely dominating the scene with some of his aim scores. But towards the end of 2023 and moving towards the start of 2024, Cloutiful has pretty much made the switch to speed plays, setting loads of impressive speed scores that not a lot of people can replicate. One of his most impressive scores at the time was his 1.4 kpp play on Valley of the Whale 3 mod. And overall in 2024, he was showcasing his speed skills, especially in the last week. And with him recently passing Lifeline, we all thought that he was going to maybe be the next #1 player with really impressive aim and speed skills. Or so we thought. On the 13th of June of 2024, Scytho, another really high ranked Osu top player, finally managed to rank one of his insanely broken speed maps by the name of Snow Goose. Well, technically he appears as a guest diff, but you know what I mean. This was a very important moment for him because he was trying to rank this for a pretty decent amount of time, and if he managed to rank it, he would have gotten a really good FC with double time on it that would really skyrocket him through the rankings, which he managed to do, setting his new top lane, which was worth 1416 pp, and managed to reach rank 1 in USA with this play. However, someone shortly after stole the spotlight from Scytho, and it was the one and only Cloutiful, who managed to set a 1482 pp play, which was his new top play at the time, reaching the #3 spot on the leaderboards, passing Lifeline. This was a huge deal at the time because this was the first time that there was a huge change in the top 3, because for the past 1.5 years, Lifeline, Aquilibet, and Emmerich have been taking the top 3 spots. On top of that, a few moments later, Cloutiful decided to play the same map with 3 mod this time, and he managed to set a play with only 6 misses that was worth 1.3k pp, which would have been a 2000 pp play if it wasn't for the misses. This was also a big deal because this was the closest that a person has ever been to reaching a 2000 pp play in Osu. And well, for the past few days after this, Cloutiful has been the topic of talk for a lot of people. But little did they know that a bombshell of a post would be dropped. On the subreddit by the name of r/Osu report, someone by the name of Child Fangirl posted an interesting discovery. At the start of the post, they claimed that they have found strong evidence leading to believe that Cloutiful is using a relaxed bot or just cheating in Osu overall, because apparently in Cloutiful's replays, his average circle hold time distribution almost always hits 63 milliseconds. For some context, this is inhuman and not even the best of the best top players could ever do. For comparison, this is Scytho's hold time distribution on his play on Snow Goose compared to Cloutiful's hold time distribution on Snow Goose. The same is pretty much present in his Juvenile play, and this is a comparison to Aquilibet's play, and pretty much any speed play that Cloutiful has said or you can even think of. Another Reddit user also discovered that on some of his no-mod plays, the same behavior could be spot, except instead of 63, it would show 42, because 42 times 1.5, which is the double time modification, would equal to 63. Unlike a previous cheating scandal that recently happened, a lot of people agreed that this was really good evidence. On top of the fact that Cloutiful would also deny showing his hand cam because of certain reasons, people were starting to raise suspicions over him. The most notable example of someone raising suspicions over this entire situation was the top player by the name of Ciccone. He tweeted this at first, stating that if Cloutiful gets banned and if this report is real, then Enterna aka Merami is still the best speed player that that this game has ever seen. Ciccone was also very suspicious about the fact that every time he was in VC with him, he would be able to hear his voice clearly, but he wouldn't be able to hear his keyboard at all. Another top player by the name of Akenzix also shared a conversation he had with Cloutiful, where Cloutiful essentially said voila, pretty much stating on God that he's not cheating in this game at all. On top of that, Cloutiful also tweeted that he was recording the live play currently. However, an interesting discovery was done when a group of people that have contributed to the PP system decided to investigate this situation on their own. You see, when the report was released about Cloutiful and his weird hold time distribution, people were suspicious of the screenshots and they might have not believed that this was real. And that's why Minis Bet, on top of a few other people, formed a group where they made a similar program that also calculated hold times for also replays to see if they get similar results for the same Cloutiful replays. And surely enough, they managed to get the exact same results. On top of that, they also decided to calculate the hold time on Cloutiful's entire top 100 plays combined, and the graph pretty much looks identical for every single play. This is how Emrek's top 50 plays look compared to Cloutiful's top 100. On top of that, they also managed to discover the fact that they only managed to recreate the 63 MS thing using a routing feature by the name of dynamic keystroke. And it essentially works like this. When you press all the way down, it's one input, and when you release the key, it registers another input, which is essentially against the rules because it registers an input that you're supposed to be doing on yourself, but instead a software is doing it for you. Almost an entire day passes and people have been waiting for this live play to be uploaded for a very long time now. So much so that Emrek posted this, stating that he has been waiting for a pretty long time now. But after a very long time, Cloutiful finally decided to release a live play. And in the live play, you can clearly see that Cloutiful was actually double tapping streams. In the first hour or so, some people were maybe believing this, saying that it's actually rather interesting that he was using different actuation points on two keys to double tap streams, and people actually believed that he was using this to stream high BPM streams. So for the first hour, it looked decent. However, 1 hour after this live play was uploaded, Cloutiful's YouTube channel got deleted and his Twitter was deactivated. At first, there was a rumor going around that Cloutiful might have been hacked, because on the live play itself he typed out his password for his Osu account, which was viewable to everyone, combined with the fact that his email was present in the video as well, and people thought that he was using the same password for every account that he created on any social media and just got hacked. But all that would change when an Osu top player by the name of Plasma decided to tweet this. After talking with Cloutiful for a bit, he's admitted and giving me permission to pass on that he cheated using Wu-Ting's dynamic keystroke function to provide an unfair advantage in his tapping. He utilized DKS to change one of his keys, the key his non-dominant finger was on, to only activate on an upstroke, which means you can press Z and X at the same time to get really low UR streams. This can be used to get inhuman ag on high OD speed if you can single tap it. Please don't go out of your way to contact him or harass him. He's realized his mistake and he's already taking steps to work on himself, hence him deactivating his Twitter and YouTube. He will make his own statement when he is ready to return to the community. As you might have guessed, the community was an absolute shock. People simply couldn't believe the fact that a cheater managed to get all the way to the rank 3 spot on the leaderboards. The Osu community has had its fair share of cheating scandals, but this one right here might be the biggest one that this game has ever seen, because nobody in the history of this game has ever managed to reach the top 3 of all spots with cheating, on top of also being undetected for this long. As you might have guessed, Cloutiful's account has been restricted ever since this got released, but because of this entire situation, the community will simply not be the same. If a player in the top 10 managed to get there by using a cheat, then imagine the amount of other players that will be accused of cheating as well, which might be slowly but surely happening. Wooting at first didn't understand as to why this was cheating in Osu, but after it was explained to them, they made a follow-up tweet addressing and pretty much confirming that if you use this feature on their keyboard that you will most likely be banned in Osu. And they asked the question, what hardware makers can do with software makers to create an environment encouraging fair play. But the moral of the story is, play legit, don't use cheats in Osu, because at the end of the day, these skeletons in the closet will catch up to you. My name is Stu, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Invincible.